What is up, everybody? We are back again. I am JD, and this is G with TheOtakuFix. We are here with another interview today with the creators of the Shadow Prophet. And Marissa, first of all, thank you guys for sparing some time from your busy schedules to do this interview with us. How are y'all doing
Thank you,
today?
sir. Yeah, pretty fine actually. Just a little bit tired, but that's usually the case.
Yeah, thank
But
you for
otherwise
having
fine.
us.
Oh no,
It's really a pleasure to be here and to have you to talk about our series.
oh definitely, no problem,
Yay.
no problem. So, for those who are not familiar with the Shadow Prophet, can one of you give a brief explanation on what the series is?
Well, the Shadow Prophet is about Itshou. She's a young girl in a like dystopian, totalitarian world where everybody has to do whatever the big prophet Godo says, and he says quite a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And
He definitely does.
she struggles. She struggles, but she discovers that everything around her is not quite as it should be, and not everybody is being truthful, and maybe none of them are. So she has to like navigate the lies and the truth of her loved ones and the world in general around her, and kind of find her own voice, where that's kind of difficult when you've never been taught how to do that. So anything you might add, Anne?
No, you know this by heart, so
Yeah.
She was like, "You did great. Don't worry about it. You did wonderful. You did wonderful." All right. So, how did you guys come up with the Shadow Prophet? Was it just like something that you always knew you wanted to do? This idea in your head, or was it just like you was walking and then you was like, you know what? I have an idea for this random series, and let's go that way.
Well, it's been a very long process. Like the original idea started somewhere at late 2006, when I was in a subway, and I hadn't been much in subways before. So there was like these dark tunnels, and I saw like something, some kind of shape in there, a big like machine somewhere on a side track. What's down there? So I was thinking about stuff like that, and it was during my internship abroad in Brussels. My then boyfriend had broken up with me, so I was a bit sad, and I was struggling like with perfectionism, like trying to do my best, but yeah, well, never quite feeling like I could do enough. And I think though those are like the big ingredients that were coming together all at the same time. So that kind of got me thinking on the concepts. And back then, I was asked by a publisher to like make my first official manga debut title. So I was very eager to have like all kinds of concepts, and this was one of the concepts that was at the top of my mind. And I proposed that to the publisher, and he had a writer set up next to me, like because I was like a fledgling artist, and he had like very veteran, acclaimed Dutch writer Willem Ritstier, which I'm still very thankful to this day, who like helped develop the concept, started writing it, and from there he had like this great scenario for like the first volume, and me with my like big load of ideas kept bombarding him like with, oh, maybe we can do this and maybe we can do that and this character and that character. So we're like working very hard on it, and but then the perfectionism kept creeping in, so I was kind of struggling on getting that stuff out there. And so we had like this very long roller coaster ride of like you working on it and not making enough progress, and then getting stuck. And at that point, he was like, well, we've got some other ideas. Let's maybe try do some other series first. And we made a different series, and that went well. And we came back to it again. And then we started pitching it to a new publisher because the old one went out of business. We were like talking years and years and years at this time. So everything got like redesigned and like stuff in the story changed. And at some point, I got introduced to Webtoon, and Webtoon wanted to have the series, so we were very happy. And at that point, Willem was also like, we've been changing it so much. It's been such a long time, and he didn't feel like connected as much anymore with the story. Also because I kept bombarding him with like all these different million ideas that he really was struggling to. How can we like fit everything in? So he's like, well, it's become more your little baby. So do continue with Webtoon, and he went to like go back to his other project because he has like a million other awesome books and illustration works and stuff he's doing. So that's how I ended up with Webtoon. And I asked Anne to help me because, well, it's quite a daunting task still to do the writing. And so we've been working on it for a couple of years now together, and like shaping it into what eventually became the Shadow Prophet.
Okay. And what was the I know you mentioned you had another series that you started off with before the Shadow Prophet. What was that series?
Yeah. It's called Ward. It's like a 4-volume like more classic Franco-Belgian adventure series, and we made it for a comic magazine in the Netherlands called Itshou, and it's been a real honor to have my like official debut series be in that magazine, and then from like the bi-weekly publication sequence, it went on to become like 4 full volumes. Well, I learned so much there, like drawing really complicated backgrounds and stuff.
And would you ever bring that series back in the future?
Yeah, if there's an option for it, I'd love to at some point do maybe like one new volume, like to top it all off. It's more like it's been concluded with the 4 volumes, but there's still like ways to continue the stuff, and it'd be really fun to pick that up at some point. But I don't know, because we're still so much involved with Shadow Prophet and so many other projects as well that could be happening or that we're dreaming about. So I'm not sure if it's currently in the cards, but I'm still keeping like a line open, so we might someday pick it up again.
Okay, all right. Sounds good. Sounds good. And just to clarify, those two worlds are completely different. They aren't together in any type of way.
No.
Oh,
it's completely different. It's like action, adventure, like boats, lost islands, weird timelines,
time travel, all the good stuff.
Yeah, not exactly, but maybe a little bit. Some weird dimensional stuff going on there, and lots of guns.
Nothing wrong with a couple of guns here and there.
Not at all.
Oh, no.
All right, so how did you two actually meet? Did you guys know each other prior to starting the series, or
maybe you can tell something about that?
Yeah, no, actually we met like a couple of years ago because I was working for a small German publisher as a freelance translator and as a scriptwriter. And I was actually translating one of the earlier manga series for that German publisher. So that's how we initially like got together and exchanged some more emails and stuff. And also, I don't know, what year was it? Early 2000, mid 2000 something. And I don't know, there was just a new boom in Europe for Euro manga, and creators in Europe all over picking all the styles from manga and trying to set up their own stories. So there were a lot of small publishers. There were a lot of fan organized conventions, and Marissa was also involved, like with a convention in the Netherlands. So we just exchanged stuff, going there, going back and forth, and just enjoying this new way of storytelling, really, that came with that manga wave all over Europe in a way. And it was a great day because there were creators really from all over Europe. Suddenly you could get together at some European country and just celebrate this new kind of comics that was a very new thing back then. So it was all basically we got to know each other there and started working on other small projects together. So yeah.
Okay, so I know, Marissa, you said you kind of already had a lot of stuff going, and then you brought Anne into the fold. So what was the creation process like once you brought her into the fold and getting the what we know now as the Shadow Prophet with the dystopian, the lies, the truth, the mystery that's going on? How is that process?
I think it's a lot of me like thinking on outlines and like big story moments that I want to hit. And I'm not the kind of writer that like writes out everything like very neatly, but I'm more like I draw a lot, like I sketch a lot, and
so
when I've got an idea for a scene, it's more like visual and like switching things up and stuff. And then I'll have Anne look at it and go over it, and she'll do some dialogues or some inputs or thoughts on scenes, that's and also trying to rein me in, like me being the disaster in terms of like planning and too much content and everything all at once. like she has to like rein me in.
No, it's so like compared to other scripts I've written, it's like we're winging it. It really depends, because there already was like such a huge plot outline and the whole universe, and I first, of course, I had to read it to experience it, and there really is so much already in like in a rough manuscript form. There are so many scenes that Marissa has drawn out. She's like really like a fountain that doesn't stop. It's really, it's amazing. It's incredible.
And not always easy to work with.
Overflowing. No, but it's overflowing. It's perfect. Whereas I am the kind of writer that's usually very, very structured and organized with everything. So our ways of working might sometimes clash, but we have found a way to really create something beautiful with it, because I can be so relaxed there when I got over this. Okay, this is not going to work as you used to. There's so much amazing stuff there. We do a lot of, okay, let's see, where are we now? Okay, what we're going to do next? What's the next step? So there is an outline. We know where we're going with the story, with some options, we'll see. We really, in the past couple of years, we just found an amazing way where we complement each other with me always being like, no, we need the structure. Go back to the structure. Please stick to the plot. And she's like, I have such a great idea. Please look at this. And I'm like, okay, you got a point there. Like, yeah, I got to admit, this is a beautiful thing to say, especially like, there's so much personal stuff that Marissa has already incorporated so nicely in the story. And there's so much. It's so meaningful on so many levels that I just feel touched, because there's stuff that I would not have come up with as a writer, and it's just, I really enjoy working with that, because it's just something that makes you see the world in a different light and makes you see more of the world. And this is why I create stuff, because I want to share stuff and I want to experience stuff and just pass that on. For me, that is storytelling. So I'm really happy with where I'm right now, even if it's not my original concept. You know, there are writers who are like, I need to have my stuff, and I'm like, no, I don't need to push my vision. I can just sit here and work on what's there and see where I can fit little bits and pieces in from myself. But I've just grown to love this world and the characters, and I'm in for a ride I didn't expect, and that I wouldn't miss for everything. It's just no, never. It's amazing.
Oh, you're gonna make me cry. That's so sweet.
Let's just both cry and virtually hug afterwards.
Yeah.
Can we? No, we can't hug on screen. No, So it is a project that's really different from what I've done in the past or what I usually do, but the experience is just so worth it, and it's amazing, and the fans are amazing. So
yeah.
I remember we was talking before we started, and you were saying how the outpouring of fans being happy that the series has returned from the hiatus. What was that like for both of you? Seeing, that your fans were still there, that they was just as excited still, and how long was the hiatus, and was it a lot of production issues that happened during the hiatus that made it, season 2 prolonged, or was it just trying to get everything right, like Marissa said, the perfection coming out and coming in and stuff? So what was that like?
Yeah,
there was another production that was far more important.
Yeah. But now she's finally born, and she's already like 2 years old. So my daughter, it's in between. Thank you. But yeah, the hiatus was around like 2.5 years, where I initially hoped it would only be like half a year, maybe a little bit optimistic. But in terms of me already having a son and our family, we came like from like the post-COVID hiatus, which I also had, where we were like, the daycare centers have closed and I couldn't work as much. So we already had to have like a pretty big break in the first season. And then when the second season came, I just knew like, oh yeah, we're gonna have this baby that's gonna be like, well, pretty impactful on my potential work hours. And we also had to struggle a bit with the health of our little girl, and with my health. My health is not always the best. So it's like a bit of a mix of like some setbacks in terms of health, and also me being a terrible perfectionist. Like, let's be honest.
Yeah, and in the end, it's life. There are just things that you unfortunately can't plan for. So we just try to give little updates to the readers, like, no, this is not cancelled. We are coming back. We're working on it. We're so sorry. But it just happened. It was a lot, and the good thing is that we also like remained in contact with some readers and with other creators, and it's like the last couple of years, it was a really crazy time for so many people. So many, not only creators but for everyone. So I think we're happy to be back now, and so grateful that the people are that they're all sticking around.
That's so amazing. Like the night we launched, it's like 3 a.m. at our time, so we're like on waking up in time to make sure everything launches correctly, and then see like the first reactions and comments, people being excited. That feels so great.
It's really funny how all the time I forgot about this. Like then there was like, oh, it's launch week. Oh wait, time zone difference. When does this? Oh, okay. I know what I will be doing the following next. When does the season end? A couple of Saturday nights, staying up until Sunday. Okay.
Yeah, I now have like a standard alarm clock for like just a little before 3 o'clock in the morning, and like gonna check, make sure like everything is correct.
there's no way we would miss that. You just have to like look at your phone and okay, it's online, okay, everything's fine. And then actually you want to go back to sleep, but you want to stay just 5 more minutes to see if somebody is writing comments, or do they realize that something is wrong there, or is it okay? And then you can go back to sleep, but then in the morning you can check again.
It's so great to see, and also like people really still love everybody. Like maybe not all the characters, because not all of the characters are that lovable, but well, everybody's still very much. Or are they? You don't know. But it's really great to see people like also like everybody that's been checking in through those 2.5 years, like still writing comments like, oh, we hope the series come back. Take care of your health, authors, all these sweet kind of messages. And that really helps, because when you're on hiatus and it's taking longer than you hoped, and you're like writing this and you're trying to get it right, and it's like this big void you're in, like this time sink, and you can't show people what you're working on. And even when you're super excited over this big new scene, and you'll just have to I just can't show anybody because spoilers. And now it's finally there, so we can see like what people are thinking about it, and if they enjoy it or get angry on certain things happening. So
definitely. I'm pretty sure that there's going to be a lot of angry comments, especially for certain characters.
Yeah.
I know when I read it, and I was like, oh, this guy, how is he just doing this to her? Just all of this extra stuff.
Dirtbag.
Right. And I'm like, why she just can't see that he don't really love you like that? Just go ahead and move on.
Wake up.
Yeah, like you just try to talk to him through the screen and they just don't listen. You just have to shake your head, and hopefully they make better choices going further.
We do hope so.
Make better choices going forward. You know, she can continue to mess up for a while.
Marissa, whatever we do after this, no more dystopia for a while. I'm saying this with us having another dystopian concept in the back, with again broken characters making many mistakes. So somehow we're stuck in this. Maybe, let's see. But it's again, I find it so. I'm so grateful, and I find it so fascinating, because you might be a little anxious about, can we really continue like a dystopian series in this day and age, with everything that's happening in the world? And you're like, are people still enjoying reading about other broken words, or is it just enough? Like you think like there is something we want to tell, and there one voice saying no, it can never be enough, because and then you're like, oh, why aren't we doing like a fluffy romance rom-com thing where everything is just wholesome and whatever? So but when we read the comments and see that people feel for the characters, hate the characters with a passion that they're supposed to hate, or even love those characters because they maybe it's just great. It's very rewarding.
Yeah, I think it'll always be a need for these type of series and this type of setting, because you mainly get the actions, the isekais or the dungeon series, and of course everybody loves their romance, so you're always going to have romance, but it's really not many dystopian type series out there. So I think that's definitely one thing you guys have that's definitely going to keep going and be really strong going forward, because there really aren't that many series like this out there.
Great to be adding to it. It's still weird a bit, because it's been a story that's been in the making for such a long time. Like so many of the original ideas we had, like me and Willem, those weren't like as current as they are now back then, like drone and surveillance and AI stuff. That's like, it's pretty current, but like 10 or 15 years ago when we were thinking about stuff like this, it was like still something far away. And now we kind of got like caught up by reality in a way, so it's kind of weird sometimes.
It's really like the scary thing, creating dystopian stuff nowadays is like, this can turn real so quick. So it's like so quickly. It's like you just blink. We had like we have some published chapters, so I can talk about this. Like we have another dystopian story where Europe has basically falling apart, and we have a road trip through Europe where all the border lines are up, and suddenly there's Brexit, and we're like, whoa, wait a minute, what is happening here? Please, time out, rewind, whatever. Let's just put this concept aside for a couple more years and see how it's
the second time now that we're being caught up by reality, so maybe we should be careful.
It worked for The Simpsons. It worked for them, so.
All right, so for you guys both, who's your favorite character in the series, and who do you most relate to?
Oh, you want us to pick favorites among our creators?
Absolutely, hotspot time.
Sorry. So you go first.
Well, obviously the character I relate to the most is Itshou herself, especially because she's got ADD, which ADHD, like the inattentive type, and I also have that. And a lot of her like character things have been like not specifically molded to me, but like it kind of like through the years merged into her in a way. Like originally she wasn't even supposed to have like ADHD or something. So that's something that through the years snuck in, and because it became such a prevalent theme in my own life, so she's like becoming more and more like me in a way, I think. So, well, naturally, I feel like a very special connection with her. And the character I love the most, I think, is Pharaoh, because he's like really like nasty and complex. Well, I think he's a pretty hot character as well. So, well, let's all combined. Yeah, I think he's my favorite. Especially to draw, because it's really nice drawing him. And well, obviously Ryuichi is also like very high on my list because he's just so nasty and complex as well.
Definitely. And what about you, Anne?
I think I have to pick Vero too, because it's so much fun writing a villain type character who is also like an anti-hero and who has like his scheming going on, and he's really such a loose cannon, and it's fun, and it's you can go all the places with him, so it's just so much fun to write him and to have the scenes and to see like what could he be up to, and that's so he would be my pick, but I can relate to certain aspects of every character, and I enjoy dealing with all of them, like all the crazy bunch.
All right, so
it's a great.
Oh, go ahead.
That's also great to have like the little word games he does and stuff like that. So fun.
Again, this is really challenging sometimes for us with English not being our mother tongue.
Yeah.
But then again, it's also fitting because the world that the story takes place in is also like a situation where you should not be supposed to pinpoint and tell directly where they are. So there are actually a lot of characters in there that have adapted some language. Am I just explaining? Well, there might be, it's just whatever.
Right.
Here I am justifying that the English is just a little mishy-mashy sometimes. Yeah. No, but it's actually supposed to reflect in the world that we have a situation where this city state that we see Itshou trying to find her place in was created out of turmoil, and so it's supposed to be chaotic, and Vero is just the embodiment of all the chaos that's there, and he's the one who caused it. So I think we can say that by now because we.
Well, maybe let's not say too much on that part.
Why not?
That's fine.
Well, at least you're safe to say that right now he's causing all the trouble there. So.
He's causing a lot of trouble. That's definitely the case. Yeah.
So what prompted you guys to go the webtoon route versus like the traditional manga or web novel route?
So like originally, me and Willem planned the story for a graphic novel series, like a 3-volume series. And well, since the project just like took so long and we lost the publisher, we've been pitching for a long time. We felt like it didn't catch on like with new publishers. We got like good responses, but we didn't get like the strong connection there where I also felt like I could make good progress and move ahead. I had like my previous work with the comic magazine worked very well for me because there's like very tight deadlines and stuff, and that kind of pushes me through the ADHD, the time warp in my mind, and like the perfectionism. So I when I came across webtoon through a friend of mine, Coco Auerkerk, she already had like a series on there called Exception, and we got talking about it, and I was like, oh yeah, well maybe that would be interesting to have like weekly deadlines, because that can definitely help me like find that focus within the ADHD perfectionism mix to move ahead. So I talked to her about it. She was like, yeah, I kind of know that they're still looking for some new series, and maybe I'll ask my editor for you, like if she has some time to look at your stuff. And so I was very, very happy. She arranged like this private pitch moment for me, which ended up in the Shadow Prophet getting signed. And well, without her, that would not have been possible at all. I don't think I would have had at that point like the focus and the progress to like get this project back together again. And obviously, I've been like working on it for so many years. But with webtoon, it really had like the final push to like, okay, we're gonna get it back together again, and we're making this in a new shape, in a new form, new type of deadlines, and that really got me out of like the struggle for it. So very grateful for that possibility.
Definitely. So do you think if you didn't have the opportunity to do the pitch that you were saying, you would have tried the canvas route that we see a lot of other creators do, that may not get the opportunity for the pitch? They try and canvas and then eventually get moved to originals?
I think that would definitely be an option for me at that point, because if I wouldn't have gotten signed by a traditional publisher, I definitely would have gone webtoon canvas, I think, because like the opportunity to go like in short chapters and get interaction, comments, that's it's just so great to help you move along with your project and find that motivation and focus. So I think that would have been a very good alternate route for me at that point as well. Definitely, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the big question, is always money.
Yeah.
It sounds so hard to say that, but still, what I think sets us a bit apart from like the next generation or the canvas native artists is that they're like it feels sometimes like there are two types of artists overall working right now. Those who already have created a substantial following, and if you have a substantial following, then it's easier to set up, stuff like Patreon and stuff to have a little money for the project. If meanwhile, there are artists like us who come more from the traditional publishing thing. So you get an advance and then you start working on your project and somehow can finance your stuff with that while you work on the project. So really working from chapter to chapter without knowing if you're going to get anything back from that is like a huge difference in a mindset. And I'm like, I am so impressed and I'm really amazed by artists who can really, who have really built up such a following, who are building up such a following. Because for me, it would be, when do I find the time to do all this? Like, I'm just standing there like, how? I mean, I can understand how it works, looking at that, algorithms and posting regularly and also what to show and stuff. But still, there is like, with all the new networks coming up, and what service do you use? Do you go to TikTok now? Do you go to Instagram? Do you go to actual Twitter? There's so much stuff to consider, and then to be active every day. And this is time that is actually taking away from you actually creating stuff or working on your story or concept. So this is like on top of everything. So yeah, I'm in awe of all the artists that just do this so naturally. I'm a bit envious sometimes, but I don't know if I could do this, because I'm like, I don't know if I'm the type of person who would do well just putting stuff out there in such a regular fashion, because sometimes I just go down the rabbit hole creating and working and not checking social media still for a couple of days.
I definitely understand that. I completely agree. It always seems like there's never enough time in a day.
Yeah. No, but I still, I think Canvas is, or also like other platforms that have similar offers, is such a good way for you to start making comics, to just put stuff out there, to find readers. And there are so many, as we mentioned, there are so many kind readers, really also like forgiving you if you not give them the content each week and stuff. So
animals.
Definitely. Yeah. But I don't know. I would never say no, but I don't know if it wouldn't work out that I would go to Canvas directly. Like, I don't know, for me, but that's just me. So.
Okay. Nothing wrong with that. Definitely wrong with that.
But maybe that's something I need to try. I mean, I do have a Canvas series I've worked with another artist on, so we did like a little independent print run, and then we were like, oh, come on, let's just rebuild this and put this on Canvas as well. So that was a really nice experience there, an experiment. But I don't know if I would create an original series for Canvas.
Okay.
That I don't know.
All right. Marissa, I know you say you relate most to the main character of your series. And what about you? Which character do you relate most to?
That's a difficult question. Am I going to spoil some? Marissa, what are you thinking? Why are you laughing?
well, there's not very many positive choices to make, right?
No, I can just say it. No, I really, I don't know, in a very funny way, I relate maybe a lot to the crazy news lady, Julian. That's just, I think she really is, like, I'm still
She's
like
a reporter.
on her team in a way. So, and I love her her character development that is yet to come.
Little hint for the future there, people.
You're not saying anything.
No, it's like I really like the point of view she adds to the story of somebody. She's somewhere in between, like Ryuji being like the person who's really in the system, and she is basically raised within the system, and she has reached a very comfortable position in the system. And she's an arm of the system, no question there. But we're starting that not everything is so good in the place where she is, and that she actually has other stuff she dreamed to achieve at one point. And well, so we'll see.
That's great. That is great. I love that.
All right, so what are some of the things you guys like to do when you're not working on a series?
Well,
working on other
little.
Well, working on other series. No downtime whatsoever.
Yeah, no.
But just gathering new input anywhere. So traveling, seeing other things. I love cooking. So just meeting up with friends and trying to just live life and see what it brings. So yeah.
Okay. What about you, Marissa?
Yeah, basically we can't help but have ideas wherever we go, and then you're just okay. I need to write something down and then put it in a folder. Save for later. Can we use this on that project? No, okay, then this goes to that pile of shame of not used ideas, but maybe can use later. So.
Yeah, for me it's like there's little free time left between like family life and creating the webtoon. But the little moments of downtime we have, my husband and me often like to just like hang out and watch series or a little bit of gaming, lots of indie games, we'll obviously just like consuming media and like getting there like new ideas from and just enjoying it, and hopefully trying to see more of my friends as well. Because it gets difficult when you've got like little kids and then you're not as free anymore to like go off and meet everybody. I've missed going to conventions. I've not done that as much as I'd hoped. And it's like the root of my comic career is like still so attached to like the anime conventions and stuff, where we had like the first little doujinshi circle where we're working at like little small press comics. It was such fun time. So I hope to do more of that again.
I think Webtoon is having a booth at the next, I want to say, anime convention they're having in California. Will both of you be trying to go to that, or is that might be something that you'll try to maybe in the future? Maybe not this upcoming convention, but maybe another one.
Yeah, I'd really love to go some point, but it's like everything's so expensive.
Oh yeah,
like with the flight and everything, and I don't think they would like fly us over. I don't think so. Maybe for like bigger series, they might do stuff like that, but we're like in our tiny little sci-fi bubble. So I don't think that's in the cards currently, but who knows in the future? I'd love to go somewhere.
It would definitely be a great experience to just go. So I've only ever been in New York like ages ago at New York Comic Con, just as a visitor, and I was like, I need to go. I've never been to the West Coast. I need to see that. So please, So if we're invited. We're coming. Definitely, we'll make it happen.
Just invite us.
I've been telling them for years they should have their own Comic-Con, like a Webtoon Central Comic-Con, where it's not a booth, just literally their whole thing. I've been telling them for years. So hopefully, eventually they'll get to it.
They have like the Canvas Creator Summit, stuff like that, but it's like online. There's actually one at the time we were currently now recording this. We'll probably have one later this night. Okay. And I think that's like great in between, but it'd be so awesome to have like a Webtoon specific convention. Awesome.
Definitely.
Everybody going there and all the artists, we could meet up.
Yeah.
And a lot of fans want it as well. They want their own. They don't want a booth. They want their own thing, so they can just talk to other people who love Webtoons and all their favorite series and stuff as well.
Yeah, like share the enthusiasm and recommend new series, new fan art, cosplay.
Right, definitely.
Yeah.
So I know we already know season 2 has already begun, but what can fans expect to see in season 2?
Well, it's the concluding season, so expect to get all questions answered at the very end. So we'll definitely be diving into the backgrounds of the characters, like what's making them tick, and there were reveals on how like Godo's city-state world works and how it came into being, and the endings for all our beloved main cast.
How many spoiler-free cards do I get? I don't know. I think I've already. No, okay. No, I think I already mentioned a thing or two. So no, it's really seeing more of the characters, and that's coming from me, who's always like, this is not the main character, please focus on the main character, let's just stick with Itshou's story, please.
Like, no, all the others need to have like their little scenes and backgrounds revealed as well, and then we're like ending up with too many episodes again.
Nothing wrong with that, though. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, no, I think it's the same goes for any project out there. There's just so much more behind every project that never sees the light of day or gets to see a proper panel in the comic. But that's just how it goes.
Yeah,
that's up to the imagination of the readers. So many deleted scenes.
Still crying at some of the scenes that were so good and had to go because there was just not time enough.
Any way to bring those scenes in further chapters or chapters that haven't released yet to bring those scenes back, or kind of work them in different ways?
In a future, maybe if we ever get around to making a book version, that might open up some of those scenes again. And some scenes just aren't possible anymore because we took like the story in a little bit different direction. Sometimes we had like alternate scenes on how something played out, and we just had to like make a choice, and that blocks off certain other roads that we could have taken.
But maybe in a couple of years down the road, you can make like an extra book, like The Shadow Prophet, The Lost Files, or Deleted Documents, something, and just have all sketch versions and designs there, stuff that never happens and doesn't fit in the plot anymore.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm just totally making this up. Like, but did you know that Ryuichi actually is a fan of knitting? So there you have it. No, whatever. So
Yeah, he'd have the patience for it.
You know, somebody's listening gonna take that and be like, "I knew he was a knitter. I seen it. seen it the first time I laid out eyes on him. I knew it. I knew it."
It's like fluffy woolen knitted socks. Yeah.
I mean, what would a knitted paper crane look like?
The paper
I
crane.
have a felted one. And my niece made one for me, which was so cute. I've been gifted like paper cranes by friends and readers, and it's so nice.
And that's another question I want to ask. Do any of you do like origami, or do you know how to?
Sometimes, yeah.
Sometimes.
Oh, you made quite a couple of paper cranes, I think.
I make quite a lot. Yeah, I had this crazy idea that never worked out because me and social media, as mentioned. But I was like, the last time I was in Japan, I was just like, I bought a new like a stash of paper, of like small square paper that I meant to do origami with, like really fancy papers. And so whenever I sat down in a cafe or made a break from hiking, I just folded a paper crane and I took a picture of it, and I was like, oh yes, I can, when season 2 is approaching, I can just like do a daily update on social media with, look, I was here at that location and here's the paper crane I folded there. And I never got around doing that. So maybe I will at one point. So.
You posted one picture.
I did one. That's true. I did like one. I have a couple of more saved on my phone somewhere. Yeah. So maybe I will. Those. Maybe I'll do it after all, and then all the people watching here know where it's coming from. No, so actually I do a bit of origami sometimes. And then I'm on a break, and then I get annoyed by, oh my god, I'm so slow. How did that? But I find it really relaxing to do it. So yeah.
Okay. Well, you know what you could do? Leading up to the series finale, you can start doing that.
That's a good idea. Maybe I should really do this.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Thank you. No.
All right. So as we're getting ready to, go ahead.
No, but it's really like something that when Marissa like gave me this whole file collection of stuff for the Shadow Prophet, I was just in love with the paper cranes thing and all with the inspiration taking there, because I think what we both connect is that the whole anime and manga scene like created a community where we grew as artists, and we all always felt like welcome as artists, and we met people who were thinking alike and were interested just on discovering other cultures in the world through media. And so it's really it was touched, so I really wanted to work on that. Yeah.
Okay. All right, so as we're getting ready to wrap up, do have a couple more questions for you. First question, we like to ask all of our first time guests on this question. So what are your favorite series, anime, webtoon, just your favorite, whether you either love to watch it, love to read it? What is your favorites?
I think on
it could be one, it could be
so many. Like
let's go top 3. Let's do top 3.
Top 3. And like okay, well in terms of webtoon, my favorite series for a long time has been Of What Remains. It's I just don't know how to describe it. It's like such an emotional roller coaster, like also a bit like post-atomic war world. There's this father-daughter connection which is very strong, and so many bad things happen to good people and also to bad people, but to a lot of good people as well, and
Right.
that's very sad. And there's a dog involved, and I'm. It's been very rare that I've been like shouting and crying at my phone because of this series. So it's and I just no, it's I just loved it. It's also like expertly told in a way that it's kind of feels like you're watching a movie and you have like subtitles. It's like everybody should go read it. It's phenomenal. It's recently finished, so you can just like read it in one heart-wrenching roller coaster ride and just enjoy it, and then be heartbroken and laughing and crying. And, like the character interactions, the development. I don't want to spoil anything. It's just like my favorite thing ever. I think like well, I come from like the print media stuff, and one of my biggest series and loves there, like my evergreen, is ElfQuest. It's just such a lovely series. It's such a long time also in the making, and well, it's a bunch of elves like searching for kinship on a world very much like our own, and like a lot of sad stuff happening there as well, but also like wholesome family things, developments done by Wendy and Richard Pini. They're like gods. So that's something in our head still. And like else that I really love. It's Polina, which is a graphic novel by Bastien Vivet, and it's like a coming of age story about a young ballerina, like struggling to like get to the top and become like super skilled, but also like struggling with herself, and I just kind of watch her grow and meet new people along the roads. So it's a very touching story, super well, expertly told again, and like the artwork is so intuitive, like very, like if it just seems like it's like drawn so easily, like with very rough strokes, and I'm always like so impressed when I see artists who work like in a very rough, quickly looking style, which obviously it's not per se quick and easy to draw, but it takes so much skill to draw like a character with such movement, with such few lines. It's something which I could aspire someday, hopefully, to do the same, and that my own artwork become more like less perfectionistic and just like go with the flow, just like experience and explore the art and the lines. It's amazing.
All right, and then
okay, I'm trying to make this brief and quick. Favorite anime movie? I'm gonna go for Laputa, The Castle in the Sky by Studio Ghibli.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm just dropping it here. Then favorite manga would be probably something by Fumi Yoshinaga, which actually Marissa introduced me to. She has series like What Did She Eat Yesterday, or All My Darling Daughters. So she's like a josei manga artist with dealing in a variety of genres, and I just love that. But I especially love like the day-to-day, everyday life stories she does, because they touch me. I can't explain why in detail, they just touch me. And then for a webtoon, I'm currently binge reading Omniscient Reader, and I think it's a really great in its genre. I also enjoy solo leveling. That's the fourth one. And to just say another third webtoon is like I just have the printed version here. It's called Navirella. I think it's also been turned into a Netflix series, and I also like this as a slice of life webtoon. So
okay. So
I need to ask because I forgot, but my favorite manga is Pluto from Urasawa.
Pluto, okay.
Yes, that's like always a
one. That's
Urasawa Sensei is just
number
amazing.
one perfection.
So did you enjoy the Pluto adaptation on Netflix?
Yeah, I haven't completely watched it yet. I've seen like the first episode, and I was going to watch it together with my husband, and he was like, it doesn't really click for me, and so he just wanted to read the manga first, and so it was like okay, now you finished the manga, and I want to watch more of the anime as well. So I'm just very curious to see how it holds up to the manga because the manga is perfection. So I'll be very curious to find out.
Okay. And then have you watched the solo leveling adaptation yet? That's currently going?
Yes, of course.
Of course.
Are you enjoying it?
Of course. I am enjoying it actually. Okay. So I really like I'm a big fan of when you're adapting something, you can look like how does it work best in the respective media. And I'm in the camp where I really like the choices they made with how they adapted into anime. So I'm really enjoying it. Yeah.
Okay. And are you excited for the Omniscient Reader anime or the live action? Which one are you more excited for?
I think I'm team anime. I'm team anime.
Team
sure.
But I love the One Piece live action adaptation.
Okay.
So that's like we need more of those. Definitely. So I'm still always like no rather if I can have an anime adaptation then I will go for the anime adaptation.
Okay. So for Shadow Prophet, you would like an anime over live action. What about you, Marissa?
Oh, definitely an anime version.
Okay.
Yeah, it'd be so much better because of the drawing style. I think it'd be very difficult to get like those angular noses that I like to draw. And I love animation. So especially with stuff like Spider-Verse, like I really love what that has done for the animation scene. And
maybe you should note that Marissa actually has a background in animation, so she just has she knows what she's talking about there and what she wants. She knows how it's done, and she knows what she will. What work she will put on if we insist stick to the character designs. You can adapt them for animation, but please this and that stage. So she knows how much work that will be.
Any particular studio you guys will want for the Shadow Prophet?
Studio 4 Degree.
Okay. And that same for you or different studio?
No, I will go with Marissa's decision, and I like definitely. No, I'm with Marissa. I'm on board there. Yeah.
Have them working together with like the studio that did like Arcane or like Spider-Verse.
Okay.
Yeah.
Definitely good choices.
Okay. Yeah.
Definitely good choices. All right. So.
But there are so many other amazing studios. So it's really. And
Cartoon Saloon. The Cartoon Saloon would also be amazing. Like they did like these beautiful Brandon and the Secret of Kells, Song of the Sea. So good.
All righty.
Secret of Kells is also really beautiful animations. Yeah.
Definitely. All right. So last question. Do you guys have any advice for anyone who are maybe trying to start their own webtoon series?
Yeah, it's so difficult to like let go of that fear and perfectionism and like
just start, do it.
Yeah.
Not too
Don't
much
be like
thinking.
me. Don't be like me and like endlessly postpone and keep working on it for
When you
years
think
and
about
years.
it, there you might come across ideas why it might not be the best decision to just start, but they will all lead to you not starting something, and you'll never know what would have happened if you started. So try it, just do it. And that's coming from a person who was always like overthinking stuff.
Yeah, and it's like connect with other artists, be a fan to other artists as well. Like it's how much you love getting those comments and reader reactions. So when you read something, just tell people you love it, that you like it, and connect with each other over their series. You can get such good advice, feedback, friendship, even with other artists, other fans. There's so many people out there who love working on creative stuff, and it's so great to connect. And the world of comics is so small, especially like in Europe and in the Netherlands, because every artist knows each other, and everybody's always like excited to hear what you're working on, and always thinking like, okay, can I help somebody? And then you can get help in return when you're stuck on something. Ask for feedback. So that's just like connect and draw so much. It's like there's so many shortcuts that you can take pressed for time, but it never beats like the actual work that you can put in and like really get to learn to understand like anatomy, perspective, and shortcuts can help you buy time, but it's better.
Yeah, and it's really learning by doing. Don't let it hold you back that you think you're not good enough. You learn so much when you just start doing a comic. Don't like if you enjoy just doing illustrations, go do illustrations. But if you worry like, in this one panel the hand might not look perfect, then it's not perfect yet. In the end, it doesn't matter as much as you're afraid that it could matter. And even if there's a comment like, this hand looks weird, then take it as a compliment that a person has really invested so much time looking at the hand, because there are a lot of people like just flipping through panels.
Yeah.
So really, you will build the mindset you need, but don't worry. If you wait until you think you're perfect, you will just, I don't know, start today. Just start today.
All right. Definitely a beautiful way to end it. I want to thank both of you again for, making some time for us to do this interview. Everybody definitely go and check out The Shadow Prophet. The link for the series will be in the description. Also, if you want a sneak peek, I did do a video of the first 7 chapters, so I will link that as well, so you guys can go check that out. And is there anything else you guys want to say before we head out? Any extra promotion or anything as well?
Yeah, just thank you so much for listening to us, and I hope if anyone is going to check out our series, I hope you enjoy it. And
thank you all for enjoying webtoons, and please keep on reading.
Yeah, read, engage, enjoy, create, and thank you for having us.
Oh, definitely. Anytime. All right, and we'll catch you guys next time.
Okay, bye.